Catch them young, teach them the right thing, and they will grow with it. The Foundation for Generational Thinkers has become a rallying point for young people in school, our future leaders. The Foundation has become a source of inspiration and motivation for critical thinking and creativity. God gave Henry Ford the world when society needed a modern means of transport. He made the first car, the Ford. God gave us the Wright brothers when man needed to fly across the oceans. They made the aeroplane. Today, society needs a solution to unemployment and an attitude to keep the environment clean. Once again, God is working through the agency of an entity, the Foundation for Generational Thinkers, or FOGET. FOGET believes that students can think and find solutions to problems of our country, thereby creating jobs for themselves and for others. The tools they will need to achieve that is inspiration and iron determination, two of the factors that propelled Thomas Edison to invent the electric lamp after more than 10,000 times of trying and failing. The same factors that led two brothers from the eastern region of Ghana, James Ansah and Kwesi Ansah, to introduce the JK2 table power, a novel method of generating electricity from cassava. The Foundation for Generational Thinkers is providing the needed motivation and inspiration. This initiative is the brainchild of a young Ghanaian, Prosper Dan Afechi.
In our country, development is not progressive. And then we come up with laws, we come up with bylaws, but the issue is that enforcement and then sustaining it is not there. So our responsibility, or our foundation, Generational Thinkers, is to help and educate people to understand that there's a need for sustainability. And that is what we are about. There should be smooth transition of development from one generation to the other. And then the youth that are the future generation need to be empowered so that they can take up the baton, the challenge from the older generation. And that is what have motivated us so that to come up with this foundation. We are dealing with the youth because we know they will be taking the baton from the older generation.
The idea took root in 2015 and evolved with time. At the initial stages, FOGET organized quizzes for school children. The participants were compelled to do a lot of reading, since success in quiz competitions require wide reading. In this case, the Foundation for Generational Thinkers succeeded in instilling the reading habit in the children. Reading exposes the individual to important secrets about life and leads to success. On April 25, 2018, the Foundation widened its focus in its quest to create awareness about the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, and have the youth engaged in the campaign for the attainment of the SDGs. The Foundation for Generational Thinkers, in collaboration with the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, organized a quiz and challenge competition for selected junior high schools in Ghana on the SDGs Goals 4 and 6. Goal 4 of the SDGs is aimed at achieving quality education for all, whereas Goal 6 is for clean water and sanitation for all. 28 schools participated in the competition at the group stages, with 4 qualifying for the finals. The Foundation for Generational Thinkers facilitated the competition process by taking the school children on a field trip to the Accra compost and recycling plant at Ajen Kotoku off the Accra-Nsawam Road.
Nothing is impossible with God on my side. I'm a winner. Come rain or shine.
The students were taken around various departments of the facility.
I'm winning in the morning, winning in the afternoon or night. I'm a winner. My cup overflows with power in the name of Jesus. God is there, my side.
see the sieve within it, which some of the maintenance team are even doing some work on. After that, you can see up here the magnetic separator, the device which picks the metals, scans, etc. And then we have the secondary hand sorting room over here. That is where we retrieve most of the recyclables. You can see here air separator. Air separator, what that one does is it blows air at a very high pressure so that you can separate the lighter weight materials from the heavier ones. This room over here is the LD sorting room. The LD sorting room, that is where we retrieve the lightweight materials. So at the end of these rooms, the process ends there. Whatever goes beyond the room is what is going to the landfill site, which is also considered for the RDF.
The children learned that the plant is able to recycle less than 20% of all the garbage it receives. This is because in Ghana, waste separation is not yet a common practice. For many of the people, rubbish is rubbish. People dispose of all variety of waste together. Pieces of metal, papers, leftover food, plastics, glass bottles, and a sundry of items are all seen of together. It now becomes the work of the recycler to sort, and it is such a Herculean task at that point.
The design of the bonnet, is slanted, it's like that. So when there's a waste being dumped onto it and it starts the compaction, it pushes it up and it starts to compact. So probably you are dumping, maybe the trailer, but the design of the boom compacts and then it lifts it. So it starts piling at the back of the trailer. So the trailer gets full.
So as I said, each trailer will take about 30 of the bicycles. Yes, and the capacity of the trailer is 30 tons of waste. So each trailer will take 30 tons of waste. And each day, each trailer is supposed to do about 2 trips on a good day. So in a day we send about 500 tons of waste.
And get done. So assuming it becomes more,
how do we deal with the waste? When we get the waste, we send the waste to the landfill site. We send the waste to the landfill site, not to the graduate.
Is this also a trailer?
Yes, these are all.
Is it already full?
Yes, it's already full. So, yeah, no, it is not full.
But the
yes, that's it's a very good question. That's the head over there. The head is
we don't have issues with the trailer. We are having issues with the head. We call it the cow.
The cow.
Not COWL.
Okay.
I thought cow.
So not cow for slaughter.
I learned a lot of things with ACAP. ACAP is one of the plants that have managed to control waste problems in Ghana. They process it, they recycle it.
Solid waste has been recycled to make compost, which is very useful for those in the agricultural sector, which helps as fertilizer to their crops.
The brief period for which I did talk to them, from the questions that they asked, I can tell that they are really interested in sanitation issues. They want to help to save the country Ghana, and I believe that these children are the future leaders who will help introduce certain policies that will help keep our country clean.
We are going to take this challenge up, and I can promise you that every year the challenge is going to happen, and we are even hoping to expand it not only in Accra but throughout the whole country. I can tell you that with very little resource that we have, we've been able to come this far. if we should get a lot of sponsors, I think we can do a lot that will help both the student, the individuals, and the country.
What we have there is called a top platform. So after the track has finished standing on the way bridge, there's a control personnel inside who directs the track into the top platform, and there are 5 gates there, and then he directs the track to any of the 5 gates. So following a radio signal, okay, between the top platform controller and the down platform controller, the dislodging begins. Okay, the track begins to tip. It will tip the waste directly into the trailer. Okay, the waste doesn't get to the down. So that is what makes this transfer station unique. The waste does not get to the down. It goes directly into the trailer. And then once the waste goes into the trailer, compaction begins. Okay, so the waste is compacted. It's compacted to a ratio of 1:3. So after compaction is done, then another waste is tipped into the trailer. Now, one trailer can take about 6 of the big trucks. You understand? One big trailer will take 6 of the trucks that are bringing in the waste. And then one trailer can take about 30 of the tricycles. Yes, 30 of the tricycles. So all those waste goes into the trailers. So once the tipping is done, you see, you tell the drivers of the down platform controller to begin the compaction, and then the compaction begins. Once compaction is done, another tipping is done, and then compaction. So the trailer is free. When the trailer is covered, okay, it is clean, airtight, and then you transport the waste to the landfill. So this is the
The school children were made to know that waste management is easier and less expensive to the country if different kinds of waste material are put in separate bins before disposing them off. The participants from a school at Dansoman Johannes Academy composed a song to educate people on sanitation.
I don't really wanna leave. If we wanna leave, we have to clean up the place. Do you really wanna leave? I don't really wanna leave. If we wanna leave, we have to clean up the place. Never drop anything, never drop anything. Cause 6 robbers, they will dirty the place. Papers and boxes, metals and scrapings, dropping them anywhere, who solidarity the place. Poo-poos and scissors, wee-wees and pee-pees, doing them anywhere, who solidarity the place. Cleaning everywhere.
The 4 schools that contested at the grand finale were St. Charles Preparatory JHS at Banana Inn near Dansoman in Accra, Johannes Academy at Agege, 205 Dansoman, New Generation School Dansoman Poase, and Soa Boy Memorial School at Choco. The topic for the challenge competition was "Your community is filth-laden. Devise means by which waste can be managed." After the presentation of their research findings in the full glare of the public, the media, some academics, and the distinguished panel of judges, Soa Boy Memorial School at Choco emerged ultimate winners. They won the competition with their research work on Choco, a community along the coast of Accra. New Generation School came second, Johannes Academy third, and St. Charles Preparatory JHS fourth. The ultimate winners took home a cash prize of 1,000 Ghana cedis, a new flat-screen desktop computer, a trophy, certificates, and books. The first runner-up took away 500 Ghana cedis, a desk jet printer, certificates, and other books. The second runner-up took home 300 Ghana cedis, a desk jet printer, certificates, and book prizes. The third runner-up received a cash prize of 200 Ghana cedis a laser jet printer, certificates and book prizes both for students and teachers. The competition was great and transformational. Subsequent ones promised to be even greater, bigger, wider, and better. Congratulations to all the contesting schools. Since then, the Foundation for Generational Thinkers has become a rallying point for school children, parents, teachers, and other stakeholders.
Everywhere I am, everything I do, I just we know nothing is impossible.